Good morning, everybody. Junior Weatherman here with your premium weather discussion update video discussion for today. Today, June 24th, 2022. Take a look here at our, this is our overall, this is GFS showing different pressures and also the wind map, different systems. What I wanted to show here, we have quite a bit going on. We have a low pressure up to our north, low pressure up in Canada that's going to be triggering off some severe storms into North Dakota, Minnesota today. A couple low pressures off the coast of California here in the Pacific North Coast that will be barreling in kind of this way and moving down like this. Another here into the Gulf of Alaska that will be impacting our region in about 3-ish weeks, so about middle of July. This is a big system that crashed into the Gulf of Alaska. That will impact our weather come here in the next about 3 weeks. It's kind of funny how that pattern works with the Bering Sea, and we'll look at that more here in just a little bit. What I also want to focus on here is a little disturbance that's coming off the coast of Africa. And the reason I'm focusing on this is because disturbances coming off the coast of Africa this early on in hurricane season tend not to formulate into anything. Once you hit into July and August, into September, we start to see any kind of waves that come off the coast of Africa really need to be monitored. But there's a wave that's, excuse me, that came off the coast of Africa here, and it's got the attention of National Hurricane Center and into the Caribbean, and it's really got some attention because it's so early on, and because they're expecting an active season. It needs to be monitored. So I'm going to fast forward here till Tuesday, and as you can see, it's getting ready to impact the Lesser Antilles area. Now, the low pressure isn't substantial. It isn't as strong. As you can see, gusts of maybe 30, 40 miles per hour. But as we move into Thursday of next week, we can see now it's just north of the Aruba area. And as you can see, it's a little bit more compact, tight, a little smaller in nature here, and a lot of wind circling around the low pressure. The low pressure is staying just off the coast here. Like I said, here is Aruba here, and Aruba here, and it's just to the north here. And as you can see, the wind gusts now of 48, 50 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour, and towards the core. Now, as this continues to move due west, basically, they're concerned about the Nicaragua area and that this impacting that country. Now, the reason why this is so substantial and why I'm focusing on this is because any kind of development down in here in June is very, very rare. In fact, there's only been 2 in the last 80 years. So they're focusing on this because they are expecting a major season this year with the hurricanes and tropical storms, that it's really got their attention as seeing could more storms form early on, and also in the areas that we haven't seen storms form. So as you can see, into Friday, into Saturday, it will impact Nicaragua. And right before impact, you can see, let's back this up, right before impact, you could see that winds anywhere between 79, 80 miles an hour. Back this up here. So they're looking at some kind of a hurricane or tropical system that will impact the coast of Nicaragua next weekend. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of touch on that just real quick there, just because it's kind of interesting, as it's very rare for that to form, especially in that area. Okay, let's take a look here at our map, as we're seeing clear sunny skies today, highs in the 90s. We do see some rain chances come tomorrow night, especially for northern Illinois, central Illinois. Could see some scattered thunderstorms, maybe some severe gusty winds, small hail possible. Overnight into Saturday into Sunday morning, some rain showers for northern Indiana, southern Michigan, northwest Ohio. But it's a very low chance, and as you can see on the 5-day forecast that I sent out, it's only like a 30-40% chance. But some rain showers in our distant future. Excuse me. I'm going to show you here. This is the dew points over the next couple days. So this is today, so we see it in the 50s and 60s, 60s, 70s over the weekend. And as that, this is tomorrow night. This is where the best chance of any kind of strong to severe storms are possible for tomorrow. And then as you can see, once that moves through, we're left with drier and less humid conditions for a few days before we start to build that back up Wednesday into Thursday. And then we start to see the humidity rise again from the southwest as we get a southwest push. Temperatures over the next 10 days look something like this. So we're seeing 80s and 90s today. A little bit of a dip as we see that cold front move through. The storms that move through will bring cooler temperatures that start next week out to Monday and Tuesday. But by midweek, we start to see the humidity build, temperatures build again up into the 80s, lower 90s, into the 4th of July. We start to see temperatures in the 80s and mid 80s for your 4th of July. And we should stay dry as of right now for the 4th. But we'll take a look at that here in just a second. So our upper pattern looks something like this. So we're seeing the ridge build here. So we see a ridge build here. So we have temperatures and push, southwest push here. So we're seeing the humidity and the heat and humidity come from the southwest. This weekend we see a little bit of a dip here in northwest flow. We see the storms coming out of the Illinois, Wisconsin area. That'll bring cooler temperatures for a few days. And then we start to see that ridge build by the 3rd and 4th here. So we start to see that ridge building in the central United States. So our jet stream moves something like this. We start to build up. We've seen that on the temperature maps. And then we see that high pressure for the 8th, 9th, 10th directly over us. So we start to get that warm, very warm feeling back. And a ring of fire basically coming back around, so where we see basically a northwest push of storms that will come and kind of dive something like this. Not going to happen every day, but we have that chance available for us. Here's our preset map. So as we see this weekend, we see the rain showers move through. Once that moves through, area of high pressure is in control. Couple of rain chances, July 1st, 2nd, 3rd time frame, July 4th time frame, we should stay clear. But remember we talked about that July 3rd, 4th time frame for the past couple weeks here. Here's that system here that we need to monitor. These are scattered severe storms out ahead of a push of cold air and right along a boundary line of warm air, so there's a convergence of two different air masses converging. So we could squeeze out a couple strong storms here and there. These are the slow moving kind of northwest, southeast pushers. Depending on where these line up, last run they were over to the east a little bit more. Now they're back to the west a little bit more. So you have an area of low pressure here, high pressure coming down, converging or suppressing the storm south. So that would be the 2nd and 3rd time frame. 4th looks clear right now, and then controlled by an area of high pressure. We start to get that dome of heat start to build, and then some storms that would ride along the north of us. So that's what we're looking at for the next few weeks here. Precip wise, let's take a look here. Precip over the next, let's just go 10 days out. So you're looking just past the 6th, 7th time frame. Not a lot of rain. It's going to be where those heaviest rain showers and storms set up is where you're going to see the heavy amounts. But anywhere between a 1/4 of an inch to an inch and a half possible for our area over the next 10 days. Take a look here. This is we're going to look at temperatures and also precip per NOAA. Okay, so normally we don't do this, but precip wise for the next 6 to 10 days, so we can see that we're drier than average in and around our area, near average. Off to our north and west, we're seeing wetter times, obviously a couple chances of rain showers for that area. If we take out that and go to 8 to 14 days, we start to see a little bit more of that activity. We start to push our way to the east, but centered out into the central United States as the area of high pressure that will be going up and over. So those storms will ride up and over as well. If we look at precip over the next 6 to 10 days, sure, we're warm. We see that. And if we look at precip or temperatures for the 8 to 14 days, we start to warm back up. So we're right near average for the next 2 to 3 weeks for temperatures. The CFS V2 model for July outlook, wetter than average. So we start to see the wet times come back once we get into a more active July. More into July, excuse me. I think July middle of July, we see a big system. We saw that in the Bering Sea. I think we see a big system into our area that's going to bring some beneficial rain to our area. And also the third week into July also looks very wet as well. And the CFS V2 model is picking up on that wetter than average July for us. Temperature-wise, we're right where we need to be seasonally, right in average here for our time, about mid-80s into the lower 90s. We look at the Bering Sea. Excuse me. We look at the Bering Sea here. Back this up. So we see the low pressure that's impacting the Bering Sea now that would impact our area about mid-July. And then as we head towards, just soon after that, we see another system followed right behind that. And then another system that would come up right behind that. We're watching this area in coordinates with our area with the Midwest. So we see two areas of low pressure there. And then we start to get on that flow, kind of like something like this. So the low pressures would move up to our northwest, swing in cold fronts to our southeast, northwest to northeast movement, with high pressure building on the central and the southeastern United States here, which would keep storm tracks up something like this in the Midwest. So that is good chances of storms that would be moving through our area. That's all I've got for you guys today. If you have any questions, message me. Enjoy the rest of your week and have a great weekend.